All right, so today we're going deep with Codi Sanchez. And she is, well, she's not your typical Wall Street guru.
Definitely not.
We're talking about someone who went from working at places like Goldman Sachs and State Street to, like, championing small businesses.
Yeah, but there's a twist.
Oh, there's always a twist.
There is. See, Codi is all about, get this, boring businesses. Like, she actually thinks that boring businesses are cash flow machines.
Okay, so she's finding the excitement in the mundane. I like it.
She really is. And it's interesting, right? Because, she even owns part of a company that builds autonomous ships.
What?
Yeah.
Autonomous ships, that doesn't sound very boring.
Does it? But it's Codi. And that's what I think is so fascinating about her. She sees value where other people just don't.
Okay, so she's got an eye for the unconventional. That makes sense coming from Wall Street,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
But how does that translate to, like, owning a laundromat?
Well, that's the genius of Codi. She's got this great line, the money is often in the boring.
Okay, you got me. I'm officially intrigued. So what are we actually unpacking today? Like, what's the roadmap for this deep dive?
Well, we're going to explore how she identifies and acquires these seemingly undervalued businesses, how you or I could apply her strategies even if we aren't starting with millions of dollars.
That's what I'm talking about, making it applicable for everyone.
Exactly. And there's more. We're going to look at the unexpected advantages of owning a small business. Because you know what? It goes way beyond just the profits.
Oh, yeah, I bet. All right, let's break this down. You mentioned her, her journey from Wall Street to Main Street. What even shifted her focus? Why did she make that jump?
Well, she had this friend, a billionaire, who basically challenged her thinking. He told her straight up, small has infected your thinking.
Ouch.
I know, right? But it pushed her to consider the potential in businesses that most people just wouldn't even think twice about.
Okay, so it's about looking beyond the surface, seeing the potential where others just see the ordinary.
Exactly. It's this contrarian mindset. It's not just about being different for the sake of being different. It's about looking where others aren't.
So instead of flocking to those like trendy startups or whatever, she's looking at the laundromats and car washes of the world.
The plumbing businesses.
Yeah.
The things that we all need and rely on every single day.
Yeah, that's true. Those businesses never really seem to go away.
Exactly. Like, when was the last time you saw a laundromat going out of business?
Never.
Right. People always need clean clothes. They always need their cars washed. They're always going to need a plumber when something breaks.
Okay, I'm starting to see her point. But how does this boring business strategy actually translate into, like, building wealth?
Okay, so this is where her focus on cash flow comes in. She's all about prioritizing those businesses that, generate income right away from day one.
Okay, so consistent income versus the high risk, high reward thing that you see with a lot of startups.
Yeah. Exactly. See, these businesses may not have that, explosive growth potential of some new tech company or whatever, but, they offer something a lot more valuable.
What's that?
Stability. It's about building long-term wealth, through this steady and reliable income instead of chasing some get-rich-quick scheme.
Yeah, that makes sense. And with that steady income, you're in a better position to, reinvest and grow the business without being at the mercy of, investors or loans, right?
Totally.
But why small businesses specifically? I mean, why not go for, real estate or the stock market?
Right.
Why is she so drawn to small businesses?
Because Codi sees them as these powerful but undervalued assets.
Okay, how so?
Well, for one thing, they're often overlooked by the big investors.
Right.
They're not sexy enough, but they are so essential to our communities.
Yeah, that's true. They're the backbone of a lot of local economies.
Exactly. And there's this huge opportunity right now because so many baby boomers are nearing retirement.
Oh, that's right. And a lot of them own their own businesses.
Exactly. And they're looking to sell, and often they're willing to sell at a discount. So Codi is tapping into this generational shift in business ownership.
Wow, that's smart. So she's finding these hidden gems, buying them for a good price, and then using her expertise to make them even more profitable. It's like a treasure hunt.
It kind of is. Yeah. She's really good at spotting those diamonds in the rough. And it's interesting. She's not starting these businesses from scratch. She's buying existing ones.
Oh, I was going to ask about that. Why is that so important?
Well, think about it this way. When you buy an existing business, you're not starting at zero.
True.
You're stepping into an operation that already has customers. It's got those revenue streams. It's got systems in place.
So you're kind of skipping the whole risky startup phase.
Exactly. And that's a huge deal. I mean, think about it. Codi's mentioned that a massive percentage of startups fail within the first 5 years.
Yeah, I've heard that too. It's a scary statistic.
It is. But when you buy an established business with a proven track record, you're significantly reducing that risk.
All right, I get it. Less risk, more reward. Okay, but I got to ask, how does she even find these businesses, and how does she afford to buy them? I mean, it seems like that would take a ton of money up front.
Well, remember her contrarian approach.
Yeah.
Instead of battling it out for some hot new tech company, she's focusing on those boring industries with lower competition, you know? Like your HVAC, your plumbing, your car washes.
Right. The essential but not very glamorous stuff.
Exactly. And because these businesses aren't as trendy, there's way less competition for them, which usually means you get better deals.
Oh, that's smart. Less hype, more opportunity. I like it.
It's all about finding those hidden pockets of value.
Okay, so that explains the finding part, but what about the affording part?
Well, Codi's got some tricks up her sleeve for that, too.
Oh, tell me more. I love a good business trick.
Okay, so first, she is a huge advocate for something called seller financing. Basically, the seller helps finance the purchase of the business.
Wait, really? Like they give you a loan to buy their business?
It's not quite a loan in the traditional sense, but yeah, that's the general idea.
But why would they do that?
Well, it turns out this is more common than you might think. Codi actually shared that 6 out of 10 businesses are sold with some degree of seller financing.
Wow. I had no idea. So it's like they're invested in seeing their business succeed even after they've moved on.
Right. They want to see it in good hands. And honestly, a lot of sellers struggle to find the right buyer. So this can be a way to attract more qualified buyers.
Makes sense. They get to handpick their successor in a way.
Exactly. They want someone who's passionate, who's got the skills to take the business to the next level, and that's where Codi shines.
Okay, that's pretty brilliant. So
Yeah.
seller financing helps make the purchase more accessible. But does she just buy any business that comes along?
Oh no, she's got a system. She calls it her deal box.
Her deal box. What's that?
It's basically a set of criteria that she uses to evaluate potential businesses. This keeps her focused and prevents her from making impulsive decisions or being swayed by something that's not a good fit.
Okay, so it's like her personal filter for finding the right opportunities.
Exactly.
What kind of things go into that filter?
Well, it's all about knowing what you want. Think about things like, what industry are you interested in? What size business are you comfortable running? What kind of profitability are you looking for? And even the lifestyle you want as a business owner. What skills do you have? What are your passions? Codi's deal box helps her stay aligned with her overall goals.
I love that. It's not just about finding any profitable business. It's about finding the right business for you.
Exactly. It's like finding a business soulmate.
A business soulmate. I like that. All right, so it's not just random. There's a strategy behind her acquisitions.
Oh, yeah. There's a bigger picture here. This is where what she calls her core satellite approach comes in.
Okay, here we go. Getting juicy.
Right. So Codi doesn't just buy random businesses. She's building an interconnected system.
Oh, this sounds interesting. So it's like an ecosystem of businesses.
Think of it like a solar system.
Okay, I like where this is going.
You have your core business, that's the sun.
Right.
And then you have these smaller complementary businesses. Those are the planets, and they kind of orbit around it, supporting its growth.
Oh, wow. I love that analogy.
Yeah.
So how does that actually work in, the real world? Can you give me an example?
Sure. So, for example, Codi owns several media companies.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that part.
And they focus on educating others about business acquisition.
So they're supporting her mission of empowering people?
Exactly. They're like satellites to her core holdings. They support her mission and, they generate their own revenue.
So it's this brilliant, symbiotic relationship between all her businesses.
It really is. Each business strengthens the others.
All right, I'm starting to see how all these pieces fit together. We've got the contrarian thinking, the focus on cash flow, the whole boring business philosophy. But how does she take these often overlooked businesses and make them, actually thrive?
Well, this is where her savvy use of modern tools comes into play.
Okay, so she's bringing the laundromat into the 21st century.
Exactly. She's a big believer in leveraging technology, reaching new customers, streamlining operations, getting insights from data, things like digital marketing, automation, data analytics, all that good stuff. She's even talked about subscription models.
Wait, subscription models for a laundromat? Like you pay a monthly fee and you get unlimited washes?
Not always that literal, but you got the idea.
So it's about finding creative ways to apply these modern business models to these more traditional industries.
Exactly. It's about adding value, making them more efficient, more appealing to customers, and ultimately, yeah, more profitable.
Wow, that's really cool. It's not just about acquiring them, it's about evolving them.
Exactly. And you know what's even more interesting?
Right.
There's this one thing that Cody talks about a lot that really stuck with me.
Okay, I'm listening. Spill it.
It's this idea of, like, how small thinking can be contagious.
Ooh, that's interesting. Contagious in what way?
Well, she was talking about how these limiting beliefs can actually hold us back from, like, achieving our full potential, you know?
Yeah, totally. Like, we get stuck in this box and we're like, oh, I could never do that, you know?
Exactly. And it's not even just about business. It's about life in general.
Yeah, true, true. So how does Cody, like, break free from that small thinking trap?
She challenges those beliefs head on. She's always encouraging people to think bigger, bolder, and, like, question the assumptions that are holding them back.
So instead of saying, I can't, she's saying, why not?
Exactly. It's about embracing the power of possibility, recognizing that we're capable of so much more than we often give ourselves credit for.
That's so inspiring. It's like she's giving everyone permission to dream bigger.
She really is. And, you know, it goes back to that contrarian mindset. She's not afraid to go against the grain, to pursue those opportunities that other people might dismiss.
Yeah, that takes courage to see the potential where others just see, I don't know, the ordinary, the mundane.
Exactly. And you know what else I really appreciate about Cody's approach? It's not just about building wealth for herself. It's about empowering others to do the same.
Yeah, that's important. It's about sharing the knowledge, right? Paying it forward.
Exactly. She constantly emphasizes the importance of financial literacy. Like, she really wants people to understand money, you know, to take control of their finances.
Yeah, knowledge is power, especially when it comes to making smart decisions with your money.
Right. And Cody's really good at breaking down those complex financial concepts in a way that's actually easy to understand.
So she's like a translator for the world of investing.
I love that. Yeah, she totally is. And you know what else I love about her? She's so real, you know? She's not afraid to admit her mistakes.
Yeah, I've noticed that. She doesn't shy away from sharing her experiences, the good, the bad, the ugly.
Exactly. It makes her so relatable. Like, hey, I've messed up too, but you can learn from my mistakes.
Yeah, that's powerful. It makes her message even more credible. All right, so we've talked about her contrarian mindset, her focus on those cash flowing businesses, and her strategies for actually acquiring those businesses. But like, how does it all come together? What's the big picture takeaway here?
I think the most important takeaway is that building wealth doesn't have to be like this complicated or intimidating thing. It's about finding a strategy that, you know, that works for you.
Yeah.
That aligns with your values, your skills, your goals.
Right. It's not one size fits all.
Exactly. And it's about being willing to, you know, to learn, to adapt, and to take action.
To step outside of your comfort zone a little bit.
Yes. Challenge those limiting beliefs. Cody's journey shows us that, like, literally anyone can achieve financial freedom. Whether you're starting with a lot or a little, it doesn't matter.
So what does that mean for our listeners? Like, what's one actionable step they could take? Something inspired by Cody's approach.
Ooh, that's a good question. What stands out to you from everything we've talked about so far?
I think for me, it's that whole idea of niche dominance. Like,
Yeah.
Cody talks about finding that specific niche and becoming the go-to expert in that area.
Oh, yeah.
And it's such a smart strategy for building a sustainable and profitable business.
Yeah.
You know, you're not trying to be everything to everyone. You're laser focused on serving a specific market.
Yeah, I love that. You know what really stood out to me is that whole impact aspect. Cody often talks about how small business ownership can empower you to, like, make a difference in your community, you know? You're creating jobs, you're providing valuable services, you're building something that can last for generations.
That's amazing. It's not just about the money. It's about leaving a legacy.
Exactly. So for our listener, maybe it's time to, you know, dust off that business plan that's been sitting in a drawer, or maybe it's reaching out to, like, a local business owner who might be thinking about selling, or maybe it's just committing to learning more about financial literacy, you know.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, just take that first step.
Yes. Take action.
Yeah.
Because you never know where it might lead you.
Totally. And speaking of taking action, maybe it's time to give our listener a little nudge in the right direction.
I think you're right. Because if there's one thing we've learned from this deep dive, it's that knowledge without action is just knowledge.
Right. You got to be willing to put in the work.
So if you're ready to dive into the world of boring businesses and contrarian thinking, you have to buy her book, Main Street Millionaire.
Yes.
And follow her on social media.
Oh, totally. It's like having a personal business coach, you know, right in your pocket.
Seriously, she's constantly sharing these golden nuggets of wisdom.
No, it's amazing.
As we wrap up this deep dive into Cody's world, I can't help but think about all those small businesses out there just waiting for the right person to come along,
Yeah.
waiting for someone to unlock their potential.
It's like she said, small has infected your thinking. Maybe it's time for all of us to, break free from those limiting beliefs and start seeing the possibilities.
Right. Maybe the next big thing isn't some fancy tech startup.
Right.
Maybe it's the laundromat down the street or the car wash around the corner or even that plumbing business that's been around for forever.
You know what I think is really cool?
Right.
It could be anything.
Yeah.
The point is to, keep your eyes open. Keep your mind open,
Be open to the possibilities.
Exactly.
Because as Cody has shown us, sometimes those boring businesses are the most rewarding ones.
Totally. And remember, guys, building wealth, it's not just about the money.
Right.
It's about creating something meaningful, something that has a positive impact.
On your community, on the world.
Exactly. So as we sign off today, I want to leave you with this. What opportunities are hiding in plain sight in your own community?
Ooh, I like that. What boring businesses are just waiting for you to come along with your contrarian thinking and your passion?
Until next time, keep diving deep, keep challenging the status quo.
And never underestimate the power of a little boredom.